Number 1, make sure you express your Caleb love because I love him and I'm going to miss him. Number 2, the Wayfarer Redemption. I want to talk to you guys about the Wayfarer Redemption today because I love the Wayfarer Redemption. It's a trilogy. The first book is called Wayfarer Redemption. I don't own it because it's like hard to get. I don't think it's even like in print at the moment. So you're probably going to have to go to the library if you want to read these. But the second book is Enchanter and the third book is Starman. These books are so good. Like they are like sci-fi fantasy at its best. When I was in high school and the first few Harry Potter books came out and I'd read the first few Harry Potter books and I'd read these books, I really did not know whether I liked Harry Potter or these better because these are that good. Like, that good. They're so good. So it's the story of Tencendor. That's the world. The world is Tencendor, and there are 3 people groups. The Acarites, which are the normal humans, which use like shields and swords and stuff like that. The Akari, which are the really magical people who live in the mountains, and they're so magical that they have wings. And then the third people group, which is the Avar, and they are the forest folk. And I'm pretty sure that they're magical, just not like the Akari. The Akari are like the enchanters. So these 3 people groups used to live in harmony together, and the Acarites, being non-magical people, are stupid and they decide to drive the magical people out. So the Avar moved to the forest and the Akari moved to the mountains, and they all hate each other now. Some great war in the past or something like that. But what happens is this evil man from the north, this evil person from the north, he decides he's going to try to take over Tencendor, and he's like got magic and stuff like that, so he is trying to use winter and all sorts of winter creatures to take over Tencendor. So there's this prophecy that this man is going to rise up and defeat the evil, and you're just like, I don't know what's going on. But that's where Axis comes in. He is an Acarite, and he is like he's like a police officer. Not a police officer, he's like high up in the Acarite political authority. And the prophecy says that he is going to bring the peoples together or whatever and defeat this evil. And so it's a story of him kind of turning his back on his Acarite life and going out to try to fight this evil and combine the peoples and bring everyone back together, which is very anti-Acarite of him. I'm pretty sure his job as an Acarite was to keep the magical people out. And so there's Axis, and he has this lady friend named Faraday, and she is a main character as well. They are in love, and Faraday is my favorite, my absolute favorite. I love this girl. She's so fantastic. She is just like a classic like princess, but like a nitty-gritty princess who wants to go out and help the people and is sweet and all that jazz. But she's in love with Axis, and she plays a very important role. But Axis and Faraday's roles in the prophecy force them to be separated. And so they go on their own separate journeys, and then there's a third main character who I'm not going to tell because they aren't really main character till the second book, and I would ruin the first book if I told you who it was. But they all go on their separate journeys, and sometimes they are brought together and sometimes they are pulled apart, and even though these two, Faraday and Axis, want to be together, they can't because of the way the prophecy is taking them. And so it's a story of these people whose lives are being driven by the prophecy, and they have to like bring this magical peoples together with the non-magical peoples to defeat this great evil. And it's just so good. Like, I can't tell you how it's written because I haven't critically read it, but I know that the story at least was absolutely fantastic. And so if you are really into sci-fi and fantasy, like if you've read Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and you are looking for another thing to read, I would highly suggest The Wayfarer Redemption because I love it so much. So Yawn. I guess I'll see you guys later.